Reinforced concrete slab. So a slab is an elevated floor supported by a beam or a column. So these are in the figure here. These are the example of examples of slab. So it is categorized as there are different types of slab. We have a one-way slab, the first figure here, one-way slab. We have two-way slab, okay, one-way, two-way, and this one is also one-way. I will explain later what does it mean by one-way and two-way. And so this, if you look above, the first three figure, these are slabs supported um by a beam. Okay, so you see here beam here, and then this one. So this is our slab actually. This is our slab, and this our slab. So here in the first figure, dalawa lang yung support. Okay, left and right, and then dito sa pangalawang figure, ang support is apat. So nakapalipot. Okay? And then, and the third figure, you have a slab. So, dalawang part siya ng slab kasi meron siyang intermediate beam. Okay? So, this one is beam and we call it intermediate beam. Okay? And then, so, yung beam na intermediate beam, nakapatong siya sa beam. Most of the time, we call this one a girder beam. So a girder beam is a beam that carries a beam. Okay? So ito na beam, itong intermediate beam nakapatong sa girder. So so itong slab dito is nakahati sa dalawa. So dalawa rin yung i-design natin na slab. Okay? If you look on the section, dito yung section view ng slab natin. So we have a one-way slab, two-way, and then this is one way. So the other type ng slab is these are slabs na supported by not by a beam, but instead directly supported by a column. Okay. So wala nang wala nang slab. I mean wala nang beam. For example, the flat, we call it flat plate or flat slab. Itong pala flat slab. So, purely plate lang siya yung slab and then nakapatong siya diretso sa column, supported by column. So, yung flow ng the natural path ng load, normally from slab, then the slab is carried by the beam. So, we first design the slab and then design the beam, takbo dun sa beam. And then yung load ng beam, takbo dun sa column. But in this case, sa flat plate, um, yung slab is directly supported by the column. So, diretso sa column. Wala siyang beam. So, same siya sa when flat plate or and even flat slab. Okay? So, sa flat slab, gina-increase lang yung thickness doon sa banda ng column to increase the punching shear. Okay, you will learn punching shear later in the second part of this course actually. So, so that yan yung flat slab. And then meron rin tayong grid or waffle slab. Ito may mga hulmahan na ito na parang precast ang pagkagawa. Okay? But the same, parang cast in place pa rin siya. So when I say cast in place, yung concrete is binubuhos dun sa side. Cast in place. Yung precast is kinakast somewhere and then gina-deliver na lang. So, as a member na siya, yun yung precast, yung difference ng cast in place at saka precast. So, yung grid slab or waffle slab is still cast in place pa rin siya, pero meron na siyang hulmahan. So, naka-waffle na siya. So, medyo complicated yung analysis ng waffle slab. So, going back to flat plates, normally itong mga flat plate at saka flat slab, I've seen most of this sa Thailand. So, ang kagandahan ng flat slab is mabilis i-construct. You have the column and then, buhos agad ng slab. Okay? The advantage, yun ang advantage. Ang disadvantage is this is very weak in earthquake, against earthquake. So, sa Thailand, medyo bihira masyado yung earthquake doon. So, kumbaga yung return ng earthquake is matagal masyado. So, they design mostly na uh, yung structure nila is very weak against earthquake. Kasi nga, why will you design? Ang idea doon is yung economical. Why will you design your building na um, strong against earthquake kung wala namang earthquake? Okay? Although may probability rin na dadaan, pero mahina lang yung mga cases ng earthquake doon. Kaya they prefer the flat plate. So, biruin nyo yung, if you have a structure, let me illustrate here. Kasi ganyan yung building natin. Yan. This is the ground. Okay. Sorry. This is the ground. And then, kung mayroon tayong earthquake, mag-shake yung mag-shake yung, kumbaga, yung building natin. Okay? So, with, kung, kung ang building natin is naka-frame siya, let's say, naka-frame ganyan, mayroong column, yan, looking at the side view, medyo stiff siya. Di ba? Hindi basta-bastang mag-sway. Although meron pa ring sway, we call it drift. Meron pa ring mga drift kasi mag-shake talaga yung ground. So meron talagang mangyari na drift. Pero minimal masyado kasi nga very stiff siya kung naka-frame siya na ganyan. Compared, compare natin sa flat slab idea, ganyan. So there is yung ano natin, kumbaga yung lateral support niya, yung lateral diaphragm niya is nagbibi nag murag nagasalig lang siya sa slab. Okay? So, hindi siya full frame talaga. So, yun ang disadvantage. Ang mangyari diyan, napakalaki ng sway niyan ng building natin. I'll say malaki masyado yung sway ng building natin ganyan. Compare mo dito sa full frame talaga. Mayroong mayroong action ng column, beam at saka slab. Okay? Dito sa pangalawang figure, wala tayong beams. Okay? So, we know na flat lang masyado. Although parang beam pa rin siya yung slab, pero flat masyado. Madali lang siyang mag-bend. Okay? So, laterally or diaphragm, hindi siya fully support sa sway ng building. So, ginagamit lang itong flat slab mostly sa mga non-earthquake prone areas like Thailand, yan, Singapore. So, I've seen a lot of mga structure nila, they prefer to use flat slab. But here in the Philippines, napaka-risky na we prefer the flat slab. Bihira ka lang makakita sa Philippines na kasi we are, our area is earthquake prone. So, except sa Palawan part, but the rest is medyo malakas or very prone yung earthquake natin. So, we normally um, go to the option of slab supported by a beam. Okay? So, yung frame system natin. So, if we go farther sa design, beyond this CVE 161, uh, you will learn the uh, s- higher structural analysis. So this one is we are sti- we are just on the design, pero meron pa tayong mga you look the build on the building as one entity, okay, as one structure, and you have to observe how it behaves. So, kaya may mga not necessarily natapos na ninyo yung 161 and then parang confident na kayo to design, but there are still many angle that you need to learn and you need to look up in structural designing. Okay, so going back to slab design, so we have uh, two types of slab in terms of designing. Okay, in terms of type, we have beam supported slab, and then we have the flat plate, and then we have the waffle slab. Then in terms of designing, we have two types: the one-way slab and then the two-way slab. Okay, so what does it mean by one way mathematically? So if we have two span, longer span and then the shorter span of slab, ang longer span meaning yun yung let's say ito yung L in the figure, ito yung L. Yan. At saka ito yung S. Okay? So yung L yung longer span, yung S is shorter span. So kung ang ratio ng L over S is greater than 2, it is a one-way slab. Meaning, yung slab natin, let's say the second dito, if you look on the third figure, let's say, ang L dito, L, compare mo sa S, itong S. Ito lang yung S natin eh, di ba? Okay? Or shorter span, compare mo sa L. So, masyadong malaki yung L, almost twice the S or greater than S, twice the S, that means we will only consider a one-way slab. So, figuratively, I mean in figure, what does it mean? Let's say we have a slab, a one-way slab. Dito na lang. Okay, let's say ito yung slab natin. Uh, Gawin kong 3D. Yan. And then, let's say this is supported edge. Ka-support siya sa edge. Okay? And if L is very long compared to S, di ba? Kung masyadong mahaba yung L natin compared sa short span S, what do you think is the possible failure ng cracking? Let's look on the cracking. Kasi sa beam, when we design beam, we look on the cracking and then doon tayo mag-support. Doon natin i-design yung reinforcement because of the possible cracking doon. So, here, sa slab natin, if L we have the slab and then magsag yan, di ba? Pag lagyan natin ng load siya, na P, okay? So if this is very long, if L is very long compared to S, kumaga mahaba masyado, yung L, ang possible cracking niya, if I will just illustrate, ang possible cracking niya is in this direction, right? And so if I will get a, parang itong bond paper, yan, this is A4. But anyway, let's say like, yung stronger side niya is yung itong side na ito is mahaba masyado. Ang possible failure niya kung lagyan mo ng load is ganyan. So, isang direction lang, no? Di ba? Ayan yung possible failure niya. Magsag yung slab natin in one direction. So, you see here, yung cracking niya, itong naka-red, yung cracking niya is in that direction. So, kung ganyan yung cracking, dapat um, yung reinforcement natin is perpendicular to that cracking. Kaya, if ganito lang yung failure niya, that's the time we use um, ganito yung reinforcement natin, di ba? To prevent cracking. Ayan, for the sake of illustration lang. Okay? Ito yung reinforcement. Sorry. Ito yung reinforcement natin. Yung blue. That is to prevent cracking. If you look at this one, yung type ng reinforcement isang direction lang. Kaya tinatawag natin yan na one-way design. Okay? Now, kung almost square, let's say yung S na at saka L natin is almost the same length. Ito yun siya. Two-way. Almost the same length or let's say less than 2. Ratio ng L to S is less than 2. Ang possible failure niya is hindi lang one direction. It could also fail in this direction. So, dalawa ng direction, di ba? Yung pagsag niya. Let's say X and Y, dalawang direction. That means kung may possible cracking in this direction also, then we need to put a reinforcement also to oppose that second direction of cracking. Okay? So, lagyan naman tayo ng reinforcement na ganito. Okay? That's the time we say that is a two-way slab. Okay? So, hopefully nagets niyo yung one-way and two-way slab and concept. So, that's why here in the figure, balik tayo sa figure, if this is one-way slab, itong first figure, ang one-way slab, kasi nga, bakit one-way ito? This one is automatic one-way. Bakit? Kasi dito lang yung may support. Ito na side. Right? So, what do you think is the possible direction of, if, uh, with regards to the figure, ang possible failure niya, if I'm going to erase this one, ang possible failure na or cracking niya is, parang magaling siya, di ba? Okay. So, ang possible cracking niya is in this direction. Right? So, that means, ang possible reinforcement rin natin is in opposite direction. Yan. Okay? So, dito may beam dito sa gilid. Dito, wala. Sa taas. Walang beam dito sa taas. Okay? So, kaya doon lang yung direction ng cracking. So, ganyan yun. Ang reinforcement rin natin is only along the short direction. Okay? So, ganyan yung concept ng one-way. For two-way, sa pangalawang figure naman, two-way, so dalawa yung direction. Kasi pwede siya mag-fail here, wait, let me erase this. So, pwede siya mag-fail in this direction. Pwede rin siya mag-fail in this direction or sabay. Diba? So, yung reinforcement natin is also both direction rin yung reinforcement natin. So, parang stitches, no? Parang tinatahi na natin yung wound. Okay, parang naglagay ka ng stitch against sa wound o sa ng sugat. Okay? So, it's gonna be opposite, hindi parallel. Okay? So, yan yung ibig sabihin ng two-way slab. So, along the thickness ng slab, if you look on the side view ng slab natin, okay, let's say this is fixed. Yeah, let's say that is fixed. Meaning this is our slab. So, and then looking at the side view, side or section view. So, this is supported by beam, pero most of the time naka-fix kasi yan pagbuhos ng slab. Ang requirement ng pagbuhos ng slab is dapat nakasabay siya monolithically, sabay sa pagbuhos ng beam. So, yung slab natin is theoretically naka-fix siya in both sides. So, remember in structural analysis natin, uh, in structural analysis, ang moment diagram ng fixed supported beam is nakaganito. Right? So, ito meron tayong positive moment dito, meron tayong negative moment. Okay? So, kung positive moment sa gitna, what does it mean? Kung positive moment, saan ang possible cracking? Saan, ano yung bending? Positive moment, pag ganyan, di ba? So, sa positive moment, ang possible cracking natin is mangyari dito, right? Yan. So, that means, ang reinforcement natin should be, choose another color here. That means, ang reinforcement natin dapat dito. Yan, kasi positive moment, di ba? So, yan yung point natin. Dito, let's look on the right side. Sa right side. This one is negative moment, right? Negative. So, kung negative, saan yung possible failure niya? Dito sa, ang cracking niya is possible dito sa taas. Okay? So, that's the time, that means na yung reinforcement natin dito. Okay? Dito rin sa left side natin, ang possible cracking is dito. So, yung reinforcement natin is dito rin. Okay? Now, kung nagkataon na ang spacing ng top reinforcement at saka bottom reinforcement is nagkatugma, binebend na lang natin yan siya. Kaya makikita ninyo yung mga reinforcement naka-bend. Yung reinforcement ng slab, as much as possible, naka-bend na lang siya. Kasi nga is mahirap na magputol-putol. So, mas maganda i-bend na lang para continuous yung reinforcement natin. Okay? Kaya makita niyo sa mga reinforcement ng slab, naka-bend siya. Kasi nga, maraming different na point ng beam or slab. By the way, ang analysis ng slab natin is still parang beam pa rin siya. Okay? So, yung idea natin is parang beam pa rin siya, although it is very flat. Okay? Yung width niya is very long compare sa height ng beam. So, yan, parang rectangular beam pa rin yung section natin. Okay? So, later you will see yung formation ng reinforcement is naka-bend siya. Okay, so let's proceed to the minimum thickness. So this one is parang beam pa rin na concept. Yung minimum depth ng beam natin or edge. At this time, we're talking about slab, so thickness. So minimum thickness, so it depends on the support. Simply supported slab, we have L over 20. So mga slab na simply supported, most of the time yung mga bridge na na yung parang pedestrian bridge lang. Okay? Ganun. So, na yung slab, maybe nakapatong lang siya sa beam simply nakapatong lang siya sa beam. So, ganun, mga civil supported. But most sa mga structure, sa mga building, most of the time, fixed supported talaga yan. Okay? Kasi yung pagbuhos natin, sabay sa pagbuhos ng beam. Okay? Kaya monolithic sila. So, fixed supported ang analysis niyan. But for simple supported, we have L over 20. Sorry. For one end continuous, L over 24. Ano ibig sabihin ng one end continuous? One end continuous, if you look on the, ano, section view, yan, section view ng slab. So dito na part continuous siya sa right side. Kasi nga after the beam, meron pang another slab. So continuous siya. But dito, free end na siya. So meron pa rin tayong beam dito pero ito yung mga edge ng building natin. Okay? So one end continuous, we have L over 24. Both end continuous meaning left and right meron naka-continuous yung slab natin. Okay? L over 28. And if cantilever, cantilever, right? So, yung cantilever, yung free talaga. Walang beam na support in the other side or on the other end. Okay? But on the other end is fixed supported. Mayroong beam or column na nakasupport. So, L over 10. But this one should be multiplied to zero point 0.4. Itong L over 20, L over 24, or L over 10, dapat i-multiply natin ito sa 0.4 plus Fy over 700. If ang Fy natin is 420 megapascal. But most of the time, sa slab, ang ginagamit natin is mga 12 mm. Bihira tayo gumagamit ng 16 mm kasi yung 16 mm, mahirap siya i-bend. Medyo ano na siya. So, yung sa trabaho ba ng mga trabahante, so medyo ano na siya, kanang trabahoso na ba. So we prefer normally 12 mm, 10 mm or 12 mm. So ang Fy ng usually basta mga 12 mm. Although we can request also nga 12, basta kung 12 mm, we normally use mga 3, 4, 5, 300, sorry, hindi makita. Usually 8 to 12 mm na bar, we use 345 megapascal. And 16 mm pataas, let's say 16 to 28 mm, okay? We use yung 414 megapascal. Okay? So, bihira lang tayo gumagamit ng greater than 414 kung kailangan na talaga. But in terms of availability sa Philippines, 8 to 12 mm usually mga 345 megapascal lang siya. So, that means whatever result natin dito, kung ano yung ginamit natin na equation, we need to multiply kasi less than 420 megapascal. Even we use the 414, is still less than 420 we need to multiply this by 0.4 plus Fy over 700 to solve for the minimum thickness. Okay? So, in terms of minimum reinforcement, meron rin tayong minimum reinforcement. Okay? So, AS minimum 0.002 of area gross. Area gross ng meaning B times H. Yun yung area gross. And then, aside sa main reinforcement because of flexural reinforcement, yung gina-solve natin na area because of moments, ganun. Meron din tayong nilalagay na minimum ratio of shrinkage and temperature bars. So ito, separate ito na mga rebars. This is for the sake of shrinkage. Yun know, yung shrinkage and temperature. Kasi mag-change yung temperature, mag-shrink or mag-expand yung concrete. So, may mga possible na crackings yan. So we need to provide uh, special reinforcement for that one. So maglagay rin tayo ng special reinforcement wherein the minimum row is 0.002 also. Okay? And then the maximum, or let's start with the minimum spacing. Minimum spacing ng kasi para ang reinforcement ng slab is parang mga mat yan siya. Naka-mat or naka-array siya. Okay? So, ang minimum spacing niya is 25 mm, okay? Or the diameter of bar or 4/3 of the diameter of the aggregates. Okay? So, what normally yung mga aggregates na ginagamit natin is 3/4. Ang 3/4 in terms of millimeter is parang nasa 18 mm. Okay? Then i-multiply mo yan siya ng 18 mm, multiply siya ng 4/3. So, I'm not sure kung tama ba ito, but 18 times 4, let me calculate. Calculator here. 18 times 4 divide 3. So, around 24 mm. Ito is para around 24 mm. Okay, parang close pa rin sa 25. So, yan yung pinakamaliit na spacing, possible spacing. So, ang ang aggregates natin yung graba, ang aggregates natin is um, at least makapagbuhos, makadaan pa siya. Hindi na yung puro sabaw na lang yung doon sa baba. Okay? So, yan. So these are the minimum spacing. And also the maximum spacing, meron din tayong maximum spacing. Hindi pwede na masyadong malayo yung mga reinforcement. So maximum spacing is 3H, 3 times the height of the slab or the thickness of the slab or 450 mm. Okay? So in the analysis of slab, I don't know kung maklaro ba. Okay. We call this, ito yung section view ha. Section view ito ng structure. We have the slab here. Ito yung slab. Okay. Ito yung beam. Right. So, we have the end support. Ang tawag dito na part, this is exterior end support. So, yung pinaka-edge. Okay. And then this is the end span. And then we have interior span. Okay, we have interior supports here and then we have exterior support. Ganun yung um, ang mga terms sa structure natin. Okay, when we say end support or end span. So ito yung end support, ito yung end span. Yung pinakahuli na slab. Okay? And also, in terms of structural analysis, kasi this one, it needs ano eh, parang yung analysis ng continuous beam siya. So, most of the time, hindi na structural, ay, hindi na simply supported yung mga may encounter natin. So, parang fixed, continuous beam na siya. So, meron ng mga, you know, when we tackle about continuous beam, it's very complicated na. Um, remember in your CBE 152, I think? So, let's say, ganyan, kung fix yan siya, meron tayong ganyan na mga, di ba? Yung moment diagram, yan. So, but basically yung, kung meron tayong dalawang fix dyan, sorry, hindi ko lang kita. Dalawang fix, yan. Meron tayong moment diagram na ganyan. Yung, if you remember, omega L squared over 12, yan, di ba? Omega L squared over 12. Yan. So, strictly speaking, kung if you are really meticulous, you have to do a structural analysis to solve for the maximum moment at the midspan, at the support. Okay. But luckily the NSCP and also the ACI, of course, we started from ACI and then napya lang ng NSCP. But sorry. We have, mayroon na silang sinuggest na mga value na, you know, yung value natin na omega L squared over 12, ganun. So, meron siyang mga value dito na omega L1 squared. So, kung meron tayong 2 span, so that means ang moment dito sa exterior support is omega L squared. Dito yung first. Okay? Dito sa baba, sa gitna naman, meron tayong omega. 'Di ba dati omega L squared over 9 yan. Pero pag continuous, mag-iba naman siya. So, mayroon tayong estimate. This one is just an estimate. Maging omega U L, parang ganun pa rin yung pattern, omega L squared. But this one, omega L N squared over 9. Where Ln is, kung meron tayong dalawa, yung average ng dalawang length. L1 and L2. Okay, so this one, sadly, you have to memorize this one. Okay, so yung mga moments, omega L squared over 14, kung exterior span, if we have more than 2 span, ganito yung idea natin. Omega L squared over 16 dito, omega 16, 14. Okay, so kita niyo yung complications ng design pag marami na tayong type ng slab in one structure, in one building, so maraming different position ng slab, different yung design. So every may moment, okay? So meron din tayong different calculations. So at least sa design ng slab, at least three position. Meron sa discontinuous end, ito yung discontinuous end. Meron tayo sa continuous end ng slab at saka sa mid-span. Okay? So, at least tatlo yung i-design natin kung one way. Now, if two-way slab, i-times 2 mo siya. Diba? So, for short direction, mag-design tayo sa continuous end. Ito ang tawag dito, continuous. Ito is discontinuous. Okay? Ang tayong i-design sa discontinuous at saka mag-design tayo sa mid-span. So, kung two-way, i-times 2 mo lang yan siya. Okay? So, you will understand that in our example. So, I think the lecture was very long already, 39 minutes. Okay, let's go to the example. Meron pa bang iba? Let me check. Okay, let's solve one example for this one, and then, or maybe I will cut the video and then, oh no, no, let's solve one example and then doon ko na ilagay sa kabila isang video pa yung another example. Okay, let's solve this example. We have to design a one-way slab having a span of 3 meters. This is one way. So, explain na siya na ano, specific na siya na one way. Having a span of 3 meters. And then, the slab is to carry a uniform live load of 3 kPa. So, take note, ang load natin is by area na. Ang kPa is Newton per mm. So Newton per meter squared. Okay? So by area na yung ano. Unlike yung sa beam, omega natin is kilonewton per meter. Dito, kPa is kilonewton per meter squared per area. Okay? So this is live load. We still have to compute the dead load. So the slab is simply supported. So this is simply supported. Kung simply supported, that means ang critical moment lang natin is nasa mid-span. Kasi sa support, walang mga moments. So we have FC prime of 27 megapascal, 27.6, Fy of 276. We need the unit weight of concrete kasi we need to solve the self-weight of concrete here. Ang self-weight, yun yung magiging dead load. But mostly in the practice, meron pang additional mga dead loads like yung mga permanent loads like yung finishings, tiles, ganun, yung mga dead loads, mga partitions, dead loads yun siya. Okay? Um, so in this example, use 12 mm bars for main bars and then 10 mm for temperature bars. Okay? So let's solve this. Here's the solution. Now, let's solve first the thickness. So for thickness, let's use the letter H. Okay? So H is, or by the way, this is H minimum. Minimum. Meaning kung ano yung ma-solve natin, we could go thicker than that. So this is simply supported. Ang formula ng simply supported is L over 20. But then, our Fy is less than 420. We need to multiply this by zero point 0.4 plus Fy over 700. So, calculating this, ang length natin is 3 meters. So, let's put 3,000 over 20 times zero point 0.4 plus Fy of 276 over 700. So, H minimum here is equal to 119.143 millimeters. Okay? So, any H greater than that will be should be fine. So, for simplicity, okay, may pangit naman na 119.143 tapos ipa-construct mo doon. Ang mga panday, normally mga close figure ang ginaano nila. So, you give them some burden kung ipa yung meticulous ka masyado na ayan yung design ko 119.143. Okay? So mahirap na hanapin yan ng ah, mga carpenter natin. So skilled worker. So let's close this one. So anything greater than 119, we could say 120 millimeter. Pwede 125, sir. Pwede rin 125 if you want. Okay? But later, check natin yun siya kung enough na ba itong 120. Okay? So, ang pag-design, I told you, yung pag-design ng slab is parang pag-design din siya ng beam. So, meron tayong effective depth kasi nga mayroong covering, di ba? Pangit naman na makita yung reinforcement. So, sa total depth, mayroon pa tayong covering dyan. So, ang effective depth natin ng reinforcement is H minus concrete cover minus half of the diameter bar. Kumbaga, ito yung thickness natin ng slab. Ito yung H. Ito yung reinforcement natin. Ito yung D. Tama? So, meron tayong cover sa baba. H minus cover minus half of the diameter of bar. So, ang H natin is 120. Now, ang normal covering ng slab is 20 millimeter. Okay? So, that's why this is 20 minus half of, ano yung gamit natin na bar? 12 mm equal to, this one will be equal to, sorry, 94 millimeters. Okay? So, although beam siya, yung slab natin, ang analysis ng beam natin is hindi natin i-analyze yung full length ng slab. Okay? Instead, we will just analyze one strip. Okay, strip yung analysis natin. Magkuha na tayo ng isang strip, then kung ano yung ma-design natin na spacing ng reinforcement, ang by the way, sa slab, ang i-design natin is yung spacing ng reinforcement. Sa beam, if you can remember, we need to design the number of reinforcement. But dito, spacing. Okay? So, back to strip. Ang pag-design natin ng strip, mag-assume tayo ng isang strip, design tayo ng isang strip. Kung ano yung ma-design natin that strip, i-apply na natin sa lahat ng ibang strip. Okay? So, in figure, kung parang ganito, continuous yung slab natin na, actually, so, if this is, ito yung 3 meters, okay, one way. So, it doesn't matter kung ano ito. What is this? We don't know. Okay? Basta sinabi na one way siya. So, meaning, yung support is andito at saka dito sa other side. Okay? So, ang concept ng slab is mag-assume tayo ng one strip. Kuha tayo ng isang strip. Parang ganyan, oh. If in 3D. Gets niyo? Yan. That's, assume tayo ng 1 meter strip. Okay? So, mag-design tayo ng beam na mayroon siyang section na B, 1 meter by the height. Okay? So, yung beam natin, i-analyze natin na beam is meron siyang width na 1,000, 1 meter strip siya. And then meron siyang height na h. Yan yung i-design natin na beam. So, slab siya, pero ang analysis natin is beam. And then whatever we calculate na spacing dyan, i-apply na natin all throughout sa ibang strip. Okay? So, let's design one strip. 1 meter strip. So, ang live load natin, omega live load natin, kasi nga beam ito, di ba? So, maging omega siya. So, given na ang live load is 3 kPa. Ano yung 3 kPa? So, apply din siya sa area dito, right? Yung 3 kPa. Kaso paano siya magiging distributed? That means we need to multiply that with the width of ano, di ba? Ah, parang ganyan kasi yung ano eh, yung load, load na area, PA. So, para maiwan itong linear dito, multiply natin dito. Kasi nyo, parang maiwan is omega. Yung sa side view, yan yung maiwan. Okay? So, this is 3 kPa. Multiply natin ng 1. 1 meter. Okay? So, ang mangyari magiging, di ba, ang kPa is kilonewton per meter squared. Multiply natin ng 1 meter, magiging 3 kilonewton per meter. You see, omega na siya. Okay? For dead load, paano mag-calculate ng self-weight? Self-weight is the total weight, 23.5 kilonewton per cubic meter, di ba? Isulat ko na lang para hindi kayo malito. 23.5 kilonewton per cubic meter. Multiply natin siya ng area. Ito na area. Yan. Ano ko sa area. Multiply natin ng area para ang maiwan is kilonewton per meter. So, multiply natin ng 1, okay? 1 by thickness. Ano yung thickness natin? Thickness natin is 120. Okay? So, this is 1 by, in terms of meter, 0.12. So, ang mangyari, ang omega dead load natin is 2.82 kilonewton per meter. Okay? So, let's solve for factor load. Omega U natin is 1.2 omega dead load plus 1.6 omega live load. Let's calculate here 1.2 times 3 plus 1.6 times 2.82. This will result, sorry, baliktad pala ito. Kasi dead load. Mali. 1.2 dead load. 1.2 times 2.82 plus 1.6 times 3. This will result to 9 point, sorry, this is 8.184 kilonewton per meter. Okay? Now, so this problem is simply supported, meaning ang critical moment nandun lang sa gitna. Wala na tayong problema dun sa gilid. So, ano yung moment? Ang maximum moment, kung simply supported sa gitna, ang maximum moment is omega u L squared over 8. Okay? So, we have 8.184. Ang L natin is 3 meters. 3 squared over 8. This is 9.207 kilonewton meter. Okay? Then, meron na tayong moment. Then, we can compute the required steel area. Paano yan? Meron tayong MU, phi, RU, BT squared. Alright? So, parang nagtatanong. That's one technique to how to memorize this one. MU, or parang Maria, we call it before Maria Fe, RU VD squared. Ayan, ganyan. So, MU natin is 9.207. So, 9.207 times natin ng times 10 to the 6 para maging Newton millimeter. This one is kilonewton meter. So, okay, ang fee natin dito is 0.9. Most of the time, although we have to check yung sa beam natin, we have to check kung fee is 0.9. But here, most of the time, kasi sa lapad ng sa lapad ng ah, beam, most of the time, fee tension control dito. Okay? 0.9 RU. So, we need to solve the RU times B. Ang B ng section natin is 1,000, right? So, 1,000 times D. Did we solve D? Ah, yeah, meron pa rin tayong D. 94. Okay. D squared. 94 squared. So, from that, we can solve RU. This is 1.15776. So, you know the drill. If we have the RU, we have 0.85 FC prime over Fy times 1 minus the square root of 1 minus 2 RU over 0.85 FC prime. Kasi parang beam rin yung analysis natin. We just need to solve for rho 0.85 of FC prime, 27.6 Fy 276 square root of 1 minus the square root of 1 minus 2 RU 1.15776 over 0.85 of 27.6. F. Then we can solve our rho, which is 0.00430. Okay? So, kung meron tayong rho, we can solve AS. AS is rho BD, right? So, rho natin is 0.00430 and then times B. Ang B natin is 1,000. D is 94. This is equal to 404.2 meters squared. Ang ibig sabihin nito, ito yung area ng rebar na kailangan per strip. Kasi nag-assume tayo ng 1 meter strip. So per strip, ito yung kailangan na area. That means on another strip naman, we also need 404.2. Another strip, we need 404.2. Kaya the same lang siya, isang strip lang. So if you can see, this one is very conservative na analysis. So very safe na tayo dito. If you are the civil engineer, very safe ka na dito if you follow these steps. Kasi sa practice magkaiba talaga yan. Kasi yung isang strip, ang analysis natin dito is independent yung every strip. Nag-analyze natin ng isang strip, pero in practice, nakadikit yun sila, di ba? So, in case mag-fail yung isa, dapat tutulong rin yung isang strip sa kanya. So, hindi siya agad-agad mag-fail. So, ngayon, ang design natin is nakasolo lang siya. So, that means we are very conservative here. Okay? So, pag mag pag masira pa talaga yung design mo as a civil engineer, iwan ko na lang talaga sa'yo. Okay? Just follow the procedure and then you're very safe of that. So, ang area natin is 404.2. By the way, we need to compare that to AS minimum. AS minimum is rho minimum times BH. Ano yung rho minimum natin? 0.002. Right? times 1,000 over 120. Ang area is 240 mm squared, right? So this one, ang nasolve natin na 404, this is greater than AS minimum. Therefore, use this one. Okay? So ngayon, meron tayong area per strip. Ano na ngayon yung spacing natin? Ang spacing is simply, ang spacing required natin is equal to the area of bar being used over the area of um, yung AS na resolve natin times 1,000. Kasi per 1,000 mm tayo. So we have pi over 4. Area of bar is 12. Yung diameter ng bar natin, sorry. Pi over 4 squared divided by AS natin is 404.2. Then multiply by 1,000. So ang spacing natin is 279.805. Again, we can i-increase natin or ipababa. Round up or round down. Okay? So, kung spacing, dapat conservative din sa spacing. Kasi the closer the spacing, the stronger the reinforcement. So, dapat pababa tayo dito. So, approximately, we, we can say 200, mm, actually, we can say 270, right? Pero if you look at this value, 279.805, I think pwede naman siguro mag 280, right? Okay, kasi well, you know what, 1 mm, very ano naman siguro. So we can say 280, parang very ano na siya, very practical rin siya, and then hindi siguro tayo ma-fail. Yeah, marami tayong factor of safety sa design. Yung sa load, meron tayong factor of safety sa load combination, di ba? Yung 1.2, yung dead load, ginagawa natin 1 times 1.2, yung live load, 1.6. So yung 0.2 at saka yung 0.6 ng live load, factor of safety na natin yon. At saka yung sa strength ng concrete na 0.85 FC prime. So meron tayong 15% excess doon. So marami tayong factor of safety. So itong 279, kung gawin natin 280, dapat pababa tayo eh. Pero kung gawin natin 280, I think hindi na tayo ma-fail dyan. Okay? So we can say to 280. Pero kung malayo, let's say gawin mong 290, mahirap na yan na istorya. Ibang istorya na yan kasi masyadong malayo na siya sa na-solve natin na value. Okay? So, sir, what if question? Hindi may erase. Okay. What if we say 250? Yeah, well, very safe if we say 250 kasi masyadong malalapit siya sa compare natin. That is good structurally, but economically, hindi siya economical. Okay? Kasi maraming reinforcement ang kailangan. Malalapit yung reinforcement. So I say 280, we are safe at 280. Oh, by the way, meron tayong maximum spacing. Max spacing. Ano yung max spacing natin? Ah, 3H or 450 mm. So, ano yung 3H? 3 times, ang H natin is 120. This is 360 mm. And then, compare mo sa, or 450. So, yung na-design natin is 280, then we're okay. Kasi yung maximum is 360 and 450. So, we're okay with the spacing. Therefore, ang final wording niyan is use 12 mm diameter bar, main bars, space at 280 mm OC, meaning on center. Okay, hindi makita. Yan. On center. So, if ito yung slab natin, kasi simple supported lang siya. Parang ganon. This length is 3 meters. Ang reinforcement natin sa bottom lang. Yan. Ganyan lang siya. Yan. Parang ganyan lang. So, ito yung spacing natin. 12 mm diameter bar space at 280. So, wala nang one strip. I-apply mo yan sa lahat. Yan yung mas technique natin sa pag-solve ng spacing. Okay? So, actually, meron pang temperature bars, but the same lang rin yung concept. Makuha natin, yung temperature bars, separate siya sa, ano, separate siya sa main reinforcement. Or maybe we can compute temperature bars. Okay, compute natin. Pakita ang writing. Doktor. Okay, ang area ng temperature bars, let's call it 80, is 0.002 BH. So this is 0.002 times 1,000 times H natin is 120. So this is 240. Then from that, we can design the spacing pi over 4. And this time, this is um, 10, 10 mm. Yung temperature bars natin, most of the time 10 mm lang ginagamit. 10 squared. Given naman sa problem, 10 mm. Okay? Pi over 4 times 10 squared times 1,000 over yung area na 240. This is equal to 327.25. So let's say this is so this time pwede tayo mag-round down 325. So aside sa reinforcement, meron tayong spacing na 325. Okay? But you have to check that with the max S. Max S ng temperature bars is 5H. So 5 times 120, this is 600 or 450 mm. So we're okay with 325. So that means meron tayong reinforcement bar. Ang reinforcement bar, it could be on the top or on the bottom. But most of the time sa gitna na siya nilalagay. Okay? Yung hindi siya maka-hassle doon sa or maka-change ng depth ng reinforcement sa baba. So, last na ito gina-layout yung temperature bars. So, meron tayong temperature bars in this direction. Iba natin yung color. Let's just green. So, this one, meron tayong temperature bar in this direction. Yan. And then, meron din tayo in this direction. Yan. So, ang spacing niya is 325. So, nakamating siya both direction. And then yung analysis ng temperature bars. Okay? So, in area, medyo critical na area sa mga yung mga let's say this desert, ganon, yung ano talaga, mag-prone talaga yung cracking because of sudden change of temperature sa desert yung sa ano mainit masyado kung umaga tapos paggabi masyado namang malamig ganun yung sa desert kasi I've been to Japan also yung sobrang lamig sa Japan during winter and then yung kung tag-init naman yung during summer mainit naman masyado. So, ganun na mga area. But sa Philippines, medyo constant yung temperature natin. So, wala kang masyadong ano. Minsan yung iba, gina-neglect na lang yung temperature bars. Okay, but this is the way you compute the temperature bars. Okay, for the second example, I will continue give the second example on the second video.